Coming up, an interview with an absolute legend. He's one of the best storytellers in rock and roll. He's written or co-written some of the greatest classic rock standards ever as one of the only artists with a number one hit with two different bands. Now, the only other person to do that is a guy named Paul McCartney. Next, this artist tells us a story of recording a song that was just a joke. He wrote and recorded a number one 70s rocker just to play a practical joke on his brother. But when a label executive didn't hear the hit that he was imagining on the new record, out of desperation, a band member talked him into playing the joke song, and this executive knew it was a smash. The only problem was the singer-songwriter didn't want to release it. Coming up next, he's going to tell us the whole story on Professor of Rock. Hey, music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. If you want the straight stories behind rock's legendary hits straight from the legends themselves, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the big red button. Click the bell so that you always know when our new ones are going to drop. Also, check out our exclusive content on Patreon. That's below, and also our Vintage Years collection from amazing artist Thomas Estrada. It's also the Ratfink artist. So I'm excited to bring you yet another episode from our series, Revelations. This is where featured artists go deep on their greatest songs and albums. This is one of the most unbelievable and hilarious stories that you'll ever hear about a song. The song story, it's living proof that you never know. I mean, you can use all your musicianship, all your writing skills, and your experience as an artist and never have a hit. And then there's the story of You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, the classic rock standard written by Randy Bachman for his group at the time, Bachman Turner Overdrive. We'll talk about his last name in the interview. Randy Bachman, or Bachman, is the legendary guitarist who wrote or co-wrote numerous rock hits like American Woman, These Eyes, and No Time for the Guess Who.
American woman, stay away from me. These eyes on my way to better days.
Of course, Taking Care of Business and Let It Ride for BTO.
And I'll be taking care of business every day. I am going to say goodbye. Let it ride.
Randy wrote You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet as a running joke between he and his brother, Gary, who was actually once BTO's manager. I guess growing up, his brother Gary used to stutter, so he, Randy, wrote it with that stutter, sending it to his brother, not knowing that anyone would ever hear it. And he also did as kind of a work track. I'll let him explain that. It got played for an executive when the band needed the perfect crossover hit for pop radio after Taking Care of Business blew up. This is such a funny story from one of rock and roll's foremost storytellers. Coming up, Randy's going to tell us the whole thing. Now, as we get into this interview, I do want to thank our sponsor. You know, we all hit that point in our lives when we're moving a step or two slower, run out of steam much earlier than we used to, or we lose that spark that we once had to do something new and exciting. We start to just chalk it up to the inevitable aging process. Well, I found out that life after 40 doesn't have to be that way. Fortunately, a friend of mine turned me on to Bub's Naturals. I figured, you know, if it's good enough for the members of the New York Yankees, my favorite baseball team, and for Navy SEALs, it's got to be worth a try. I got hooked up with Bub's collagen protein and MCT oil powder sent directly to my front door, and I started adding the product to my morning dietary regimen. It's truly helped turn back the clock for me, restoring my energy and vitality. I feel younger, I feel motivated. It's been such a revelation to know that I don't have to slow down during this part of my life. I can still be active and adventurous. Do yourself a favor and click on the link below to get started with Bub's Naturals for the Professor of Rock community. I do have something very cool. Use the promo code in that description when you check out, and you'll get 20% off your purchase of all the great Bub's Naturals products. Here's Randy with the story. Your name is actually pronounced Randy Bachman, right?
In Canada, yeah.
Yeah. I always pronounce it as Randy Bachman on my channel, and people are like, in the comments are like, you know, this is the Professor of Rock, man. How do you not know it's Bachman? I said, it's actually Bachman, but.
Well, in the States, they say Bachman. In Germany, it's Bachman. In England, it's Bachman. So I'm used to it all. Here's what I normally say doing a station ID. I'm Randy Bachman of Bachman Turner Overdrive.
I love it. Number one smash. It was never intended to be anything but a joke.
Yeah.
Kind of teasing your brother, Gary, about his stutter. Tell us about that.
Well, it was a song that was left off the album. I used the song because I was producing the band to play a light rhythm part, to play a heavy rhythm part, to get a bass and drum sound. And then you're tweaking the mic and you're doing the playback of this song that is not really a song, but it's got parts in it that you know that they're going to be on the album. And so to lead the song, I start to sing nonsensically about a woman who took my heart away, and I start to stutter to tease my brother as just a brother-to-brother joke. And up comes the thing, you ain't seen nothing yet. I don't know where that came from. The song is left off the album. I mixed one version on a cassette. The guy who heard Taking Care of Business and said, yeah, leave the piano in. BTO with the piano is great. You're going to be singing this song, by the way, every day for the rest of your life. Are you going to love this song? And he said, you're going to love You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Put it on the album. So I played it for him. I said, there's no room on the album. It's classic rock. There's 4 songs aside. He said, I'll help you. Take the 4 longest 4-minute plus song, put them on one side, get the 4 shortest, and add this song in there. Put it on there. We put it on. It went to number 1 in 22 countries and was a BTO million-selling single. For an album rock band to have a single at that time, to be number 1 was amazing. And later I got an award from the American Stuttering Association as the best stuttering song of all time, beating out Benny and the Jets and My Generation and everything. So it was really a cool, great song. And there are many, many dance cool versions of that song as well.
Just proof that you never know. I mean, you can use all your musicianship, all your writing skills, your experience as an artist, and never have a hit. And then there's a story where you create this thing as a joke, really.
Right.
And I know that the guy asked you, he just said, okay, do you have anything else? And I think it was one of your band members that said, hey, play him that thing. Play him that thing.
You're playing the throwaway song. Yeah.
I know it began as an instrumental piece inspired by the rhythm guitar on Dave Mason's Only You Know and I Know, right?
Yeah. And the Bellamy Brothers, Let Your Love Flow.
Just let your love flow like a mountain stream.
I needed a nice jangling rhythm, and then I wanted a heavy power Led Zeppelin kind of hook, and put those two together. And then you tweak your guitars and you put them in the bathroom of the studio and you mic the whole room, because there was no reverbs in those days. There weren't any pedals. You had your amp and your guitars, and you had to use the room or put it against a glass wall or put it in a bathroom when everyone's gone home from the studio, and you put your amplifiers in there, your speakers, and you put a mic in there, and you get this huge sound. And so that's what I was using that song for. It just plays as an instrumental, jangling around. And I thought I'd sing over it for fun. So I sang it once. And with no great intent of anyone ever hearing the song, except my brother, who was going to send it to and tease him.
Who is the guy who you were playing to? Charlie, was it Charlie? How do you say his name?
Charlie Fash. Charlie Fash, F-A-C-H, Charlie Fash.
Charlie Fash.
And he said to me, look it, I discovered Hey Baby for Bruce Chanel.
Hey, baby.
I discovered Maggie May for Rod Stewart. It was a B-side. I talked him into putting out Reason to Believe. We wanted to give him a gift, and we put his song Maggie May on the B-side. It became a monster hit. It became the song Rod Stewart's got to sing every night.
Maggie, I wished I'd never seen your face.
So believe me, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet is going to be a song you're going to be singing every night for the rest of your life, and you're going to love it.
I remember reading somewhere he said it has got a brightness to it, kind of floats a foot higher than any of the other songs you've shown me.
He said when you put the record on, it seems to float above it. It's the jangling Stratocaster guitars that I double tracked along with a Martin guitar with paper over the hole, so it wouldn't be too. Martin guitars are very jangly. I wanted just a dead guitar sound, and to play that beginning on the song, it just is a very light thing. And DJs love it. It's a light beginning, and then suddenly in comes the crash, boom. You ain't in the cowbell. You ain't, and more cowbell, more cowbell. You ain't seen nothing yet. In comes that thing, and the stuttering, and people just like the dichotomy, the difference between the cute little jangling verses. I met a devil, and then you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. I mean, just really to have that in a song was, and I did the same thing in Hey You. It was like a big thing. Hey you say you know, that kind of thing. And I got that in LA. I was crossing the street in LA, and some guy came out and yelled, "Hey you," because somebody was driving a car and cut him off or something. I went, wow, when somebody says "Hey you," the whole street looks at them. The whole street looked at whoever's yelling "Hey you." But that's a great title for a song.
It was so plainly a joke. You were even laughing at the end of the song when you recorded it.
Yeah.
And you had seen nothing yet.
And I'm doing bad. There's Bad Morrison in there. I'm going sha-la-la-la, like from Brown Eyed Girl. I'm going sha-la-la-la-la-la. I'm doing all these crazy things. I was embarrassed when they wanted to put it on the album, played that on the radio, and then everybody said it was a real fun track. It's really fun. So rock and roll is fun.
To rearrange the song, you said, "I'll do it, but I don't want to do this." The condition was no stutter. Right. And you did record it, and you brought it back to him, and he said, no.
No, it doesn't work. No.
It is. It's that classic stutter.
It ended up being like Mel Torme, and like, "Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet." He said, "This is too schmaltzy. You got to leave it the way it was. It's get a job. It's na-na-na-na, yip, 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 boom, boom, get a job. Sha-na-na-na." It's rock and roll trivia. It's everybody's going to love it. So they did.
Well, and you refused to let it be released for like 3 weeks, and then you talked yourself into it, because I remember reading somewhere you said, "Well, Louie, that's okay."
Yeah, he said, "Seattle's playing it like mad. Portland's playing it. I want to release that as a single." I said, "No, it'll be the end of the band." He said, "No, it won't. It'll be the beginning of the band." Around the world, this was a #1 hit in over 20 countries. Translated into Finnish and Swedish and Bavarian and Austrian. They translated the song. It's really cool.
It also holds the record for falling the farthest on the chart before returning to the top 10. It fell down to number 34, and then 2 weeks after it was in the #1 spot, but then it went clear all the way up to number 8, and that's a record.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Where do you get these things from?
I'm a rock and roll nut, but it's largely because of the interest in the flip side, freewheeling, is what I understand why it went to 34 and then popped back up into the top 10 again. You won the 1976 Juno Award as well for best-selling single. In the UK, it reached number 2. Remember, it was kept off the top by Lonely This Christmas. A little trivia there by Mud. I wanted to ask you, though, you were blatantly accused by Rolling Stone record guide writer Dave Marsh of ripping up the chorus to The Who's My Generation. I think you handled that accusation very well, though.
Let's face it, rock and roll is 3 chords.
Yeah, 3 chords and the truth.
You could take those 3 chords, and I think I did a show on this. One Direction had a song with the same 3 chords. You could play it over Won't Get Fooled Again. You could play it over You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. You could also play, it's Louie, like 3 chords.
I know.
It's Crimson and Clover. Da, 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 da. Crimson and Clover, da-da, you ain't seen nothing yet, da-da-da-da. You won't get fooled again.
Another song that's been used so much in pop culture, Formula One, that was cool, and they use that. Applebee's just used it in a huge campaign, right?
Yeah.
Sopranos again, The Watch, like you were saying, it was a big thing in The Watch. It was like part of, it was almost like a character in the movie.
Yeah.
Drew Carey Show, Degrassi, all these different things, The Simpsons.
I ain't seen nothing yet. We just did.
I'm very grateful for those songs.
Yeah.
I call those songs two of my greatest mistakes. You ain't seen nothing yet. Well, three of them. American Woman, like, it was a mistake. I broke a string. I played a riff. Boom. Everybody liked it. Taking Care of Business, I co-wrote with myself. It took 6 years to co-write that song. In desperation on stage, because the band couldn't say no, because they kept saying no, they didn't want to record the song. And when they were on stage, I had to keep the people dancing. And I said, follow me. They said, what are you doing? I said, just follow me. And I start to sing They Get Up in the Morning, and the whole band is going, oh no. Who's singing They Get Up in the Morning from the alarm clock's warning? What's going to happen in the chorus? And I don't do paperback. I don't do white collar worker. I sing Taking Care of Business, and they all get it. And they all sing it the next time. And then I answer them every day, every way. It's all mine and working overtime. And I go, oh man, this is incredible. The angel of song, the God of song has sent me after years of trying the right hooks, the right things for this song. Yeah.
Well, take it back to your brother, Gary, who sadly passed away in 2020. He was the manager of BTO at one time.
Yeah.
What did he think of the success of the song?
He loved it. Well, he loved it. That it was about him, right? And by then he had overcome his stuttering. He was one of the most successful realtors in Winnipeg, Gary Bachman Realty. He got 400 guys selling houses for him. And he's like a very successful businessman. And he was my little brother. I mean, we loved each other a lot. We were really close. He was crippled for 5 years. And I carried him to school on my back if I had to, and pushed him in a wagon, and in the wintertime in a sled and on a toboggan. 4 times a day, to school, back for lunch, back after lunch, and back. I did that for a long time. We were really close. We were buddies.
Very cool. And you probably think about him as anytime you hear the song, and just a touching story there. But
yeah,
been so many covers too. Figures on a Beach took it, recharted it. But there was a Finnish band, Mooget Moogs.
Yeah.
We hit #1 with it on the Finnish charts.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that? That's
Also a band in England called Bus Stop who did a rap version that was really, really cool.
The Disco Boys, Yola Tango. Burton Cummings did a jazzy version of it as well.
I know. I'm waiting for Michael Bublé to copy Burton Cummings.
I know.
Do a big band version of that.
You ain't seen nothing yet, but baby.
Send him the Burton Cummings version. Say he should do this. It would be a #1 song again around the world.
I know.
Yeah.
You ain't seen nothing yet, baby.
Oh, wasn't that a great story? I tell you what, doing the recent Professor of Rock live with Randy, it was a riot. One of the best storytellers in all of music. Make sure that you leave us a comment about this amazing song and about Randy Bachman and BTO. What's your favorite Randy composition? Was it with the Guess Who or BTO? I mean, the fact that he isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, absolute joke. Let's have a great discussion in the comments about it. If you like our content, we do invite you to subscribe below, hit the big red button. It's all about keeping the music alive. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.